Welcome in to the 143. Once again, we are back.
Back at it again. Episode number 17.
That is 17.
17, baby.
And we have another NBA show for you today because, well, it's NBA playoffs time, and that's pretty much the only thing we got going on right now.
Yes, indeed.
We are very excited because the Dallas Mavs even the series at 2-2 with Phoenix.
Coming out surprising everybody. And then tonight.
Yeah, we have to preface we're recording on Tuesday.
Right. This is pre-game 5. So they have the opportunity to take it to them in Phoenix. And if we want to win the series, then we have to win a game at Phoenix. And it would be nice to win tonight because then we could possibly close it out at home in Game 6 scenario.
That would be ideal. And we are going to talk about that more in just a second. Let's kick off the show with the stat of the week like we normally do. This stat today is brought to you by a sports podcast called Under Review. I don't know if you've heard of it, Nick, but it is it's highly recommended by people all around the world.
Interesting. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, you need to go check it out. They do a great job.
They're all about.
I've heard they only speak the truth.
Really?
That's just what I've heard. That's just what I've heard.
That's what I want, is the truth.
Word on the street.
Then I guess I have to.
Then I think it's the perfect podcast for you and anyone else. But our stat of the week is in Game 4 of the Phoenix-Dallas series, the Mavs came out and made 23s of 44 attempts. That's 45% from 3.
Lights out the gym.
And then the Phoenix Suns went 9 for 25 from 3. So the Mavs just blew them out with 3-pointers. And whenever you do that, you're pretty much guaranteed to win the game. So nice shooting night from the Dallas Mavs. Stat brought to you by Under Review.
Our player of the week is someone that I think deserves recognition for his Game 4 performance. That is Mr. Dorian Finney-Smith. He came out with 24 points, was 8 for 12 on threes, and had 8 rebounds. And I think he's just worth mentioning because he really came alive this series. And I feel like if he can continue on with this momentum, then we could possibly be seeing them winning in Phoenix tonight, which would be very much appreciated. And I think he helped out Luka a little bit because that relieved the workload. Because Luka only had 26, but usually whenever Luka has a lower amount of points, that means that he's getting help from other people. Like he got help from Dorian, he got help from Jalen Brunson. So I feel like if he can play like this tonight, then we will be sitting pretty.
Agreed. Dorian Finney-Smith played out of his mind. Let's just jump right in. Let's talk about the Mavs versus the Suns. So in the first 2 games, we saw the Mavs get absolutely destroyed in Phoenix, and then came to Dallas, and the Suns got absolutely destroyed in Dallas. So it's very much a home court advantage series right now.
Right.
And we're hoping tonight in Game 5
team that wins, but
we're flipping that script. That's the plan, at least.
We have to. Man.
What do you think, Nick? What do you think is the keys to Dallas winning tonight in Phoenix?
I think it is going to come down to the 3-ball again. Obviously, we did phenomenal. What was that? Sunday. You mentioned that stat, and I feel like we always have an open shot. It seems like it's just whether or not we make it. And Sunday we were making it. Another person that I wrote down that I thought he only had 12 points, but it was Davis Bertans. He came in and within 2 minutes he went 4 for 5 on threes, ultimately going 4 for 6 on the day. And I know that gave Dallas a boost. And then another thing was Reggie Bullock. He has been clamping up.
Reggie Bullock has been insane.
He has been just
diamond in the rough, dude. I didn't even know who he was before the playoffs.
Lunch, and he's been an absolute beast. And he's pretty lethal from the 3-point line. Or from behind the 3-point line. He only had 7 points the other night, but he showed out on defense on Chris Paul and absolutely locked him up.
I'm good if he gives 7 points and locks up Chris Paul and only lets him do 5.
Because we have other people that can shoot.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. People other than Luka are gonna have to step up. If you think about it, when Luka's had 30 or more in this series, in Game 1 and 2, we got smoked. But when he's had less than 30, and then he racks up the assists along with the rebounds. When everyone's getting involved, we have a great game.
Like we had 6 people in double digits.
I was about to say that. Like 3 guys off our bench with Kleber, Bertans, Dimwitty. Mm-hmm. They all had double digits, and Jalen Brunson and obviously Dorian Finney-Smith showing up. Like Luka only had 26, but he didn't need to have any more. I mean, we won by 10, and like because he takes all the attention from the Suns. They always have to double him because he's good.
And he's usually pretty good at finding. So they double him, which obviously means that you're leaving somebody else open, and he's usually been good about finding that open man, which means wide open shot, but it's just, are we going to make it or not? And we were making it.
It's like you were saying, there's always an open guy.
Right.
And we have to knock down the shot. And that is so much harder to do in an away game.
It's going to be difficult in Phoenix.
Yes, because there are people shouting at you from all directions, and you can't ride that momentum necessarily. But, we've done it before. Utah is a very tough place to play, and we did, we took a couple wins there. Phoenix, I would argue, is Phoenix isn't harder. I've heard Utah is actually a harder place to play than Phoenix due to elevation, all that fun stuff. But Phoenix is just better as a team, so it will be a little tougher to beat them. Right. What Luka was saying after Game 4, which is very true, is when the entire team plays defense, mainly when Luka plays defense, we win the game. Because Luka is pretty much known for not playing defense and just being an offensive player. Mm-hmm. But basically, all we want from Luka, stop their initial drive. They get past you, let someone else handle it. That's fine. You're the star. You don't really have to, if you can clamp, but, basically don't just give him a free lane to the basket. That's what he's known for. Yes. And that's what he did in games 1 and 2. He didn't play any defense, and he played all offense. But in 3 and 4...
I've been playing defense, and what does that mean? That means you've been winning games.
Yes, and I think a lot of our defensive backbone, you got to give credit to Jason Kidd on that, because he's actually, driving in the defense. He's we have to play defense. If you don't play defense, you're not going to win.
He's done a phenomenal job with the team in general, because we've been first-round exits for, I don't know.
Since 2011.
Yeah, since we won the championship.
That is if we made the playoffs.
And Jason Kidd not only gets us past round 1, finally, we're competing,
against the best team in the NBA.
Phoenix Suns. Yes, we're currently tied 2-2 and, competing to win against the best, arguably, the best team in the NBA right now.
Well, they are the best team, record-wise. I give Jason Kidd a lot of credit, and he's taking these guys that no one's heard of. We really only have one star, and that's Luka. But we have all these guys around him who he's making sure that they get. They're in the NBA, so they can shoot. So if they get looks, he's making sure Luka dishes the ball out. Before, our previous head coach Carlisle was really just Luka, take the ball and do what you want with it. But Jason Kidd's we have to distribute. And we don't distribute because the Suns, pretty much all of their 5 starters are lethal
shooters. Yes,
shooters. Even Ayton, and then off the bench, Cameron. I'm forgetting his full name, but
Cam Johnson.
Yeah, Cam Johnson. He's out of North Carolina. He's always been good at shooting the 3-ball. So they just have so many guys that can come in and just shoot, and it's such a 3-ball league.
We haven't had an answer for Ayton.
No, we don't have an answer for Ayton.
It's kind of a Rudy Gobert situation.
My thing is
tall and just can throw it down right over him.
Ayton's gonna score. I just don't know what. 14 from Ayton. He doesn't ever score as many as he could. Because there's a lot of talk. Ayton's not as tough as he could be, and I kind of agree with that because he could be so much more tough than what he actually is. He's 7'1", and he gets bullied down there sometimes. But we don't have a guy to bully him. We have Dwight Powell.
We don't, because we don't have a true big man. We have Dwight Powell. He's technically the biggest guy on the team, but he's low-key been kind of atrocious.
Agreed. Here's something that's probably not going to happen again. Mikal Bridges only had 6 points in Game 4. That's probably not going to happen again. He's probably going to go for 20 tonight. Devin Booker had 35, so that's what he normally does. Chris Paul only had 5. That's not happening in Phoenix. So there's going to be a lot of things that we have to get better about tonight, and we have to be better in the fourth quarter, I think, because the Suns always make a comeback in the fourth quarter, no matter how much we're up by, and we have to be locked down in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a 4-quarter game if we and we cannot let what happened in Game 2 happen in Game 5. Where they had a 40-point fourth quarter, Like we have to be locked down.
That was pretty stupid. I'm gonna have to agree with you on
This
that
game, I think, is the series.
Whoever wins, you're saying.
I think whoever wins this game is gonna win the series.
I think so. Even if Phoenix wins, we might come back to Dallas and
But then we have to
win,
go back to Phoenix.
But then we have to go back to Phoenix for a Game 7.
Dallas needs this game. We need this game more than any game we've ever needed before.
We don't lose at home, so it's a phenomenal situation to come home for Game 6 and have the possibility to close it out on the Suns.
It would be ideal if we could just somehow, some way, steal tonight. And we've got a nice 9 o'clock.
But see, that's why it would have been
Game
nice
time.
to steal Game 1 or 2 in Phoenix.
That would have been so nice.
Unfortunately, we could not do that.
But it's not about what could have happened. It's about what's going to happen.
It's about what will happen. That's right.
And
Tonight
we're going to take
win.
the game. I think, like we said, Luka, 26 points, 11 assists. Need that again tonight.
I think that just
That's what we need
shows
to get
that
tonight.
Luka doesn't need 40 a night.
No.
He doesn't have to get 40. We can still win.
He's a point guard. He's supposed to distribute.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
Jalen Brunson, always good inside the paint. He's not really a three-point guy. If Dorian's not going to go 8 for 12 again, but if he could knock down like 5, 6 threes, and then we get Reggie cooking
Just
again.
when you're open, you have to make it because we always find the open guy.
I see
We've said it
videos-
like 3 times, but we get the open guy literally all the time. And if you're wide open, you have to hit it.
I see videos on social media them shooting around before the game. They make every single one like they're automatic.
It's the same.
I'm just saying, it's the same thing. It's not really any different.
Obviously, there's different pressure and stress involved
Don't
in
feel
the
the
game.
pressure.
But
We
there's
have
no one
fun
there.
when we're playing at home. Like all our guys are having fun.
Yes,
Like go out there to Phoenix
our
and have
crowd
fun.
is hyping us
Just
up.
have fun.
Got us locked in. It's an electric
It's
atmosphere.
a shoot around. It's a
So
shoot
then
around.
you just gotta shut everyone down in Phoenix. All right, you gotta turn them all tune them out.
Also, side note, Chris Paul's mad because of the fan that like allegedly like touched his mom or something, and is like some 16-year-old high school chump who like was at the game. So Chris Paul's gonna be mad tonight, and he's gonna come out and try to like put up 40, and we just need to shut that down. Reggie,
I'm
Reggie
looking
Bullock
at you,
needs
fella.
to lock that down.
He will.
But I think we will. I think there's a really good chance we can. We can. We've seen us do
'cause
it.
The thing is,
It's possible.
we have the momentum
We do.
going into Phoenix, right? Because we've won 2 in a row, and then we're going, we have the momentum, like I said, and we're going to Phoenix. So
Stay in that rhythm
that
because
momentum will
we took
carry.
a day. Like we took a 1 day in between.
yeah, we're
so
still in the same rhythm that we
Yeah.
were before. We're just playing somewhere different.
I think it's a easy lockdown dub tonight.
The court's the same size. The goal is the same size as it is in Dallas. It's no different. Okay?
What movie is that from?
I don't know, Joseph. What movie is that from?
Hoosiers.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you caught that one.
I did.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on to just kind of the NBA playoffs in general. I think one of the biggest problems that Nick and I have had watching these NBA playoffs is the fact that the NBA
It is the
soft.
foul situation.
It is ridiculous. Like, obviously, the one series to highlight, Golden State versus Memphis. Golden State will take that series for sure. But game 1, Draymond barely tugged a guy's jersey, got a flagrant 2, got ejected. Next
Ejected out
game,
of that
Dylan
game.
Brooks
Yep.
goes for a swat on the ball.
Smacks
Gary
him right
Payton
on the head.
smacks him on the head. Gary Payton comes down on his arm, so he gets suspended for the next game, even though Dylan Brooks was not trying to, hurt the guy. He was trying to go for the ball. You know, like he went for the ball and accidentally hit his head. So I don't think he should have been suspended. And then the next game, Jordan Poole went for the ball and grabbed Ja Morant's knee on accident. And it was clearly an accident. And now all the guys are mad at each other. And then last night, Al Horford dunked on Giannis and then hit him in the face with his elbow as he was coming down. Like it's not like he could stop his arm from coming down with his jump. So there's just been so many calls, so many flagrant calls. Like they review every contact play for a flagrant.
They just need to let it
ridiculous.
happen and just let them play. You know, I mean, it just comes down to the league being a little bit softer
Way too soft.
than it used to be.
This is a professional sports.
yeah,
event.
these are all professional athletes.
These are men.
that get paid millions of dollars
And
to play basketball.
Luka's included in this discussion because Luka complains about every call he doesn't get.
Yeah, I was about to say he does. He talks to the refs after just about every play.
He gets a tech because of it, so he needs to stop. And just like my problem is, I hate when they play to the foul. Like if you get fouled and you get the call,
like
great.
Chris Paul, he is so good at that.
Every time just wants a foul. I think that is a baby way to play the game. That's like soccer when they're playing and they flop because they want that that call.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
this is the NBA is it's a contact sport. Like you got five
like
guys
no
going
sport
for
is
one
without
rim.
contact.
Yeah, and the NBA is major contact at the rim, and so like it was like Gobert. Every time he didn't get a dunk or something, they called a foul if he didn't make it.
Exactly, and obviously, I think it's worth mentioning since you mentioned Rudy Gobert.
I was
talking about Shaq saying that he would lock him up. Dude, Shaq would dunk it in his grill all night long.
Rudy Gobert is a baby.
Get out of here,
could not
dude.
play in the same league as Shaq.
Absolutely, dude. Shaq would just own Rudy Gobert because it's just a different league than it was then. Like there was a lot more contact that was legal, that they let fly back then. So obviously they were a lot more used to getting hit than they are today. And I feel like Rudy Gobert would definitely not lock up Shaq.
It's just gotten to the point today where if guys don't make their layup or if they drive in the paint and they don't make the shot, there's a foul called.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And I don't know why, because there are rules in place. Like if the defender jumps up straight up with his arms up, straight up, and there's contact, it's not a foul. And they still call it.
A lot of it is the shooter kind of
he flails.
Jumping into the guy. Excuse me. Jumping into the guy a little bit. Like you said, flailing, their arms back and then whip their neck back and then they get the foul called on them, right? But a lot of it is just low-key acting.
And the Mavs are no exclusion or whatever. We do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just Nick and I we do most of our episodes on football.
It's just
and it's just very tough to watch a game where all they do is want a foul on contact.
Well, dude, because it makes it to where the games are won at the free throw lines, low-key. And that's where most of your points come from, is at the free throw line.
You get solid 30 a game, maybe 20 to 30 a game from the free throw. Yeah. And so that means if you're not a good free throw shooter, it's just I think it's ridiculous, the amount of fouls that have been called in these playoffs. And then the fact that we have to review every single hard foul as a flagrant.
That is what bothers me too, is every single foul they have to go to the booth to check and see, and then they end up throwing a guy out or something stupid like that.
Yeah, and it's not even, they're not with the exception of very few guys, most dudes are not trying to injure the other team.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of league anymore. Most of the time, everyone's friends with everyone, and they go hang out after games, and they're business associates, and and these guys they respect the fact that they make money from basketball. This is their career. Nobody wants to take the career away from someone.
It's a lot different now than it was then. There was legitimate hatred,
Bulls Pistons
hatred towards between people. Yes, Bulls Pistons,
Isaiah Thomas
that was
and
a
Michael
huge
Jordan.
One. There was legitimate hatred, but I feel today there's, I'm putting this in air quotes for those of you that aren't watching, there's hatred between whistles, in the NBA, but then after it's just oh man, hey man, great game, we're exchanging jerseys or whatever.
Yes.
That's what's done.
No problem with that, but it's just nobody's trying to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
And so we need to stop acting like they're trying to take their career away from. I think the Gary Payton foul, it was definitely a flagrant. I think that one was a flagrant, but I think it was a flagrant one at most. And he did not need to be suspended for the next game because he was not trying to knock the dude out.
He just landed funky.
Yeah,
on his arm.
It happens.
Well, it's natural instinct to try and catch yourself when you're falling. So you can't blame either person.
For those of y'all that don't know
injury.
what we're talking about, there was this play where Gary Payton on the Warriors was driving down for an open layup. Dylan Brooks on the Grizzlies comes up behind him, tries to swat at the ball, hits Gary Payton's head with his arm, and then Gary Payton lands really bad on he tries to catch himself with one of his arms and breaks his elbow.
Yeah.
And it was a hard foul, but it was not anything where he was trying to hurt him, and he ended up he's out with a broken elbow.
Heat of the moment, type deal. That's just part of the game.
I don't think there's any ill will. And I think the Jordan Poole thing, like John Morant then tweeted after John Morant's knee got touched by Jordan Poole, it was like breaking the code or something like that. But Jordan Poole was not trying to tweak John Morant's knee. Like, it's just, I think, because like especially in the NBA, you want to play against the best. You don't want to take them out.
On another note, even if, are you supposed to play with regard for your enemy? No. So it's like, it's kind of whatever, but obviously they're not trying to injure each other. But
no, you're just trying to win a game. I mean, so, and like basketball.
Let me lay down a mattress for you and let you come and land on it.
Every time the guy gets stuffed at the rim, it's not a foul. That is a part of basketball. Like that's probably one of the most exciting things. This woman gets
but when they get stuffed, they like flail and flop, and so they give him a foul and let him take 2 from the free throw line.
So
it takes all the fun out of it because
the momentum. It's a huge momentum killer.
Swatted it right in his face, but it doesn't mean anything because he got 2 anyway.
And guys that like barely get touched, it's gotten to the point where if they barely get touched as a foul, which means even if they don't get touched, it looks like they did. It's a foul. It's just the NBA is so soft compared to the other sports.
There was one foul on Sunday that got called on Maxi Kleba, who he's standing under the basket. He just puts his hands up, and Devin Booker puts his shoulder right in his chest and like turns his body to the side and like flops and throws it up, and then they give him the foul, so he gets 2 easy free throws, and that's like, okay, well that's dumb because he wasn't even he was just standing there with his hands up.
That's why it's so hard to watch the NBA sometimes because it's like, okay, we know what's gonna happen, you know that, and it's gotten to the point where like we'll be watching a game and the other team will have an easy like Ayton, an easy layup, 7-1, puts it in the goal, pretty easy, and you're like that's you have to let him have it because if you were to defend that at all, you'd get a foul called on you. Mm-hmm. So I just think that the NBA needs to be better about that. It's become when guys are trying to get the foul call, that's when you know
playing to the refs.
Yeah.
That's kind of an issue.
That's when you know, okay, we need to fix this. But all the other series, like the Warriors Grizz, I think that's pretty much over. They're up 3-1. Warriors probably taking that.
Yeah,
pretty easy.
Jaw's not playing, so that's.
Sixers Heat, I don't really care about that one. I think the Sixers have a good shot to win that. The Heat kind of seem like they've given up. But it's 2-2. And then Bucks, Celtics.
Whoever wins out of the Bucks and Celtics, I think, is going to
take the East.
Yeah.
Bucks, Celtics, that's 2-2. That's an exciting one. I kind of want the Celtics to win because the Bucks won last year. So it's like maybe some new faces.
Yeah.
And also, when you think about it, if the Mavs were to make it to the finals, we would have no answer for Giannis if he was there.
No, because we don't have a big man.
So we need the
Bucks,
been a problem Bucks to lose.
But that's series on the last series.
It's an exciting NBA playoffs. It's kind of nice that a Dallas team has made it this far into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So let's hope they can win tonight. And let's go Mavs.
We'll be seeing you next time when we're talking about how the Mavs defeated the Phoenix Suns.
Exactly.
Here's where we like to end our shows on Under Review. Brought to you an inspirational quote that translates from basketball to life. Brought to you by the Michael Jordan. He texted me this morning and was like, please put this in your podcast. And when the GOAT texts you, you say, yes, sir.
We just did a fist bump for those of y'all that aren't watching.
Because, yeah. Okay. Some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. Brought to you by the GOAT.
Be one of the ones that make it happen. Be like Mike.
Be like Mike.
And that is how we're going to end our episode today. Y'all, have a good rest of your week. Go Mavs.